If you've been creating content for any length of time, you know that now more than ever, it's gotten more difficult. Here's why. I'm just thinking out loud. In 2016, when I started creating content online, it was relatively easy as it is compared to today. Live streaming really wasn't a thing, at least not an easy, affordable way to live stream literally from your smartphone wasn't even a thing. You really had to have a computer and software to do it. And then eventually we had cell phone live streaming that's come about, being able to put together online digital products where you didn't have 50,000 people competing for the same type of offer was a thing. Being able to go on YouTube where you only had a handful of people talking about certain subject was a thing. And AI wasn't even a thought at that time when showing up online and monetizing at the end of the day. Now, it is very difficult to get out there. I didn't even mention the online spaces when it comes to how it connects to your home. So, we have a lot of what we call diversified attention. And if you want to stand out in today's landscape, you really have to be special. You have to be unique. You have to be a thought leader. You have to speak with a level of certainty and not be wishy washy. And unfortunately, what I've seen in the thing that I don't want to do is go down this rabbit hole of the content that's divisive, the content that is he said, she said, or they said, that content that's hateful, the content that is not pleasant at the end of the day. Like, I like showing up online and helping people at the end of the day. I don't really care how another person does a task. Quite frankly, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing and get the same outcome. I don't understand why people have to say, hey, you have to do it this way or that way just doesn't work. When at the end of the day, in reality, we're all different, we're all unique. And I personally like being able to show up as myself and not have to feel like I'm conforming to a certain way of doing things. But I also have to realize that in today's landscape, the game has changed. The game of social media and online has changed, and we all have to adapt. We have to adapt with AI and how fast it's coming out, and the fact that other creators are putting out a bunch of AI content. Whether we agree with it or not, whether it's good or not, there's an audience that is gravitating towards them and away from us. So, how do we compete with that? That's something that we really have to sit down and identify. Now, one of the things that I'm pleasantly grateful for is the fact that I get to brainstorm these different ideas and have these different discussions with other creators. And if you're out there by yourself, you really don't have the full landscape of knowledge. You really don't have those other brains that are really pouring into a place that everyone is benefiting from. We may be in competition, if you will, because we're competing for online views and online eyes. But at the end of the day, we can stand out for our own uniqueness. So if you're not part of a community, I recommend you check out the Creator Strong community. There is a link in the description below. Can't wait to have you as part of the conversations. And of course, some training to help you grow, especially when it comes to monetization. So, if you think that the landscape of social media and digital marketing is a little bit tough right now and you're not getting that traction, you're not alone. But there are things that you can do to continue to show up online, and eventually you'll start to see that ball rolling. And once it starts rolling, you definitely want to just double down. I'm just thinking out loud.